It began so subtly that Emily didn't even notice at first. She started canceling plans with friends, always with believable excuses: a headache, an unexpected work deadline, or just feeling too tired. But deep down, she knew something was wrong. The things she once loved, painting, reading, even baking, felt like distant memories. It was as though a heavy fog had settled over her life, making it hard to see or feel anything clearly. She spent hours lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering why she couldn't shake the feeling of emptiness. As weeks turned into months, Emily withdrew further. Her apartment became her entire world, a place where time seemed to stand still. She ignored texts, emails, and phone calls. Even Sarah, her sister, couldn't get through. Emily wanted to reach out but felt paralyzed by shame. They wouldn't understand, she told herself. Nights were the hardest. Alone in the dark, her thoughts would spiral, each one more painful than the last. One morning, Emily woke up to a panic attack. Her chest felt tight, and her breathing was shallow. She clutched her chest, convinced something was physically wrong. It wasn't the first time, but it was the worst one yet. She sat on the bathroom floor, trembling, as the realization hit her: she couldn't keep living like this. She needed help, but the thought of asking for it was terrifying. In her desperation, Emily called Sarah. Her voice cracked as she said, "I can't do this anymore." Sarah, sensing the urgency, dropped everything and rushed to Emily's apartment. When she arrived, she found Emily sitting on the floor, her face tear-streaked. Without a word, Sarah sat down next to her, wrapping her in a tight hug. Emily sobbed into her sister's shoulder, finally letting the weight she'd been carrying for months begin to lift. Sarah convinced Emily to see a therapist. The first session was overwhelming. Emily sat stiffly on the couch, her arms crossed, unsure where to start. But Dr. Carter's warm demeanor made it easier. She asked simple, open-ended questions, encouraging Emily to share at her own pace. Slowly, Emily began to open up about the feelings she had been suppressing for so long. Through therapy, Emily began to uncover the roots of her struggles. She spoke about her childhood, growing up in a household where perfection was demanded. Her parents' constant criticism had left her with a fear of failure and a need for approval. Dr. Carter helped Emily see how these patterns had followed her into adulthood, shaping her thoughts and behaviors. Dr. Carter encouraged Emily to set small, achievable goals. It started with making her bed each morning and drinking a glass of water. Though simple, these acts gave Emily a sense of control over her life. Over time, she added more to her routine, taking short walks, eating regular meals, and journaling her thoughts. Not every day was easy. Some days, Emily struggled to get out of bed. She felt like she was failing all over again. But Dr. Carter reminded her that progress wasn't linear. Each setback was an opportunity to learn and grow. Emily decided it was time to let her friends in. Over coffee, she explained what she had been going through. To her surprise, they were supportive and understanding. One friend even shared their own struggles, creating a bond Emily hadn't felt in years. Emily rediscovered her love for painting. At first, it was just a way to pass the time, but it quickly became a therapeutic outlet. She also joined a local art class, where she met others who shared her passion. Emily decided to share her story on social media. Her posts about mental health resonated with others, and messages poured in from people thanking her for her honesty. Emily felt a sense of purpose she hadn't experienced in years. With every small victory, Emily's confidence grew. She applied for a job at a local art gallery and got it. Being surrounded by art and supportive coworkers gave her a newfound sense of belonging. When Sarah faced a stressful work situation, Emily was there for her, offering advice and support. It felt good to give back to the sister who had been her rock during her darkest days. 1 year later, Emily looked back at how far she'd come. She still had bad days, but they didn't define her anymore. She realized that healing wasn't about being perfect, it was about moving forward, one step at a time. Emily decided to host a small art show, showcasing her work from the past year. Friends, family, and strangers attended, admiring the vibrant, emotional pieces. As she stood in the gallery, surrounded by love and support, Emily realized that the fog had lifted.